And we're hot. 288. We gotta get the piston on here and check squish. I think that would be the plan. That would be a good plan. Let me clean up while we're waiting for everybody else, and I'll bring you up here, and we're gonna have some coffee, and you know, it's that kind of a day. I also have a ratty 394 project to do, which is also which will be for sale. Right now I've got the 357, 359, 357 for sale. If anybody's interested, they can contact me, and we'll have the 394 for sale as well. Okay. It's Sunday morning. It's time for coffee. Time to leisurely work on a saw. You know? Leisurely. I'm in not a particular hurry. James is here. Good. Hello. How are you? Greg's here. Want you to drive in. Good. I guess I'm just going to do a little bit of cleanup. Quick cleanup. After. Don't think I'll need much of this right now. Because all we really have to do is make sure the head is clean, put the head on with a Meteor piston, and get a squish number. Once I have that, then I'll know what to do for decking it on the mill. Get rid of my fish paper. Just get the towels this way. Yeah, I've got the 394 project coming, which should prove at least somewhat interesting. You know what? While I'm at it here, let's. The one that's in worse shape, I'm going to use. Okay. So we need a washer over the seal. Just make sure it's cleaned up, that's all. That washer goes down over the seal. Then you can put your worm in there. Hey Harry, haven't seen you in a bit. Welcome. I need a pin bearing. Now the ones that come with the Meteor piston are aftermarket. This is definitely one of those things I definitely prefer OEM. No cracks or nothing, that's all. There we go. Wrong time. Yeah, I hear you. OEM gasket. And we're just going to put the head on here for measurement purposes. That's going to be it. Once I get a measurement, then I can put this crankcase aside. Here, get it messed up. Put the crankcase aside so I can take it down to the folks and do a little treatment on it with the Bridgeport. Wrist pin in there. Do not need the clips. Again, just taking a measurement. This one has a couple of broken fins. The other one does not. So could use the Scotch-Brite treatment, that's for sure. Again, just want to get a measurement today. So this has been through the ultrasonic, but still not fully clean. But that's live. Be nice to put it the correct way around. Won't matter, just for a squish measurement. Now I need a couple of head bolts. Grease on my Allen here, long Allens. I just put 2 head bolts down. Thanks, Craig, for coming in. Appreciate it. Nice video on the 575 too. Putting that together. Yeah, question about saw with the bottom gasket metal case. Saw with the bottom Hi, Ellie. Harry, I did a base gasket delete there on the 357, 359 the other day. I did a base gasket delete to tighten up the squish. So there was no gasket. So you need something for a gasket. You need something to seal. And 1184. Yeah, the gasket delete. So yeah, I used 3-bond. 1184 for effectively a sealer. So we don't have a head slapper. Find the Woodruff key. And those things have a tendency to get lost. Down one. Go. Work. Yeah, so I use 3-bond. Is there a question of why I use that material, or why did the gasket delete? Here, all I need to do is just use that just to articulate this for the moment. solder. I use for this 60 thousandths solder. You could use the Loctite 518. You could, yeah. The difference is, so the benefit, the pros and cons. So the pros to using Loctite 518 is it's anaerobic sealer, so you can put lots on there and it'll just wash. What doesn't set will wash away with gasoline. The downside to Loctite is you really have to let it sit for 24 hours. You have to have super clean surfaces, and you have to let it sit for 24 hours before you use the saw, because it's got to set. It's really got to set really well. So the squish here is almost 35 thousandths. So 25 and 5 is 30, and 8. And 3, sorry. So 33. Squish is 33 thousandths with a gasket. Pretty tight already. See, a gasket delete on here wouldn't work to optimize squish. It'd be too tight. That's like 32. Okay, 32, 33,000, somewhere in there. So I have to take a very light cut here. In order to get it. You know what I think we should do? I think we should sand the head just a little bit. I've got these 660 slugs here with sandpaper already on them. If I can sand the head a little bit here, then check it again. So let's play with doing. Let's play with that a little bit. You guys have seen me do this before, so. You just want to even off the head, essentially, and then you can then the land up there, the squish band gets more flat, and the measurements get more accurate, and you can get it a little bit tighter, a little bit more pop. For those that care about a little bit more pop. Some people do, and some people don't. I just take and spin the piston with some sandpaper there. You do have to have pretty clean setup to do this. A whole lot of brake cleaner, because you want to clean off your sandpaper here. What I might have to do is pull the paper off. And redo it. Always nice to have fresh paper. Let's see if I can show you this. You do have to be careful. You don't want to get sand. The one grit around the border here can really mess you up. But see how that's getting better? And that land will get wider and wider and wider. We'll be able to get a more and more accurate squish number. I think I need some fresh sandpaper on there. Does this one fit? That's $3.94. So this is $660. That's $660. So same as $288 essentially. But I need new sandpaper on there. So let's get some new fresh sandpaper going. And this will probably be really the only thing that I do to modify this particular cylinder head. Is really optimized squish, and then you'll get nice compression. Don't really need to do a whole lot else to 288s, and they really work well. Hey Jade. Okay, so let's put this aside. Back in here for the moment. And let's get some sandpaper. We're going to pull. These are just junk 660 pistons. And I attach the sandpaper here with what is it? JB Quick Weld. JB Quick Weld. Sometimes these come off easy, sometimes they don't. So another guy that did this with a piece of, it was a piece of hacksaw blade in the side of the, I thought it was pretty cool. Turned out pretty nice, I think. I think that was Frank. Yeah, sometimes that peels off nice and sometimes it don't. Yeah, kind of a rainy, cold day here. Yesterday was gorgeous. Yesterday was so incredibly gorgeous. This is a super scraper. Carbide. That's not coming off as smooth as it could. This got hard on here. Jeez. Okay. Yeah, so I'll need a different wheel here. Just do that. really need is super coarse sandpaper for that. I got a whole thing of roll-off wheels. Where the heck did they go? I know I had a whole thing of roll-lock wheels. Brand new. Let's see. That's not working so good either. Frustrating. Find the dang. I threw them somewhere. They cannot be found. I've got 30 of them in a baggie somewhere. Well, sandpaper will work too. For now, let that baggie go. Have to have lots of different tools in your toolbox. Yeah, that'll work. I think next time I put a little less. So everybody knows the best way to do this is on a lathe with a boring bar. But since I don't got that right now, all I got to do is take a few thousandths off, and sandpaper works just fine to do that. In my opinion. All right, let's see how this one comes off. Worse. There we go. Okay. Gotta get the grit off. I'm gonna take a little JB Weld. Yeah, there we go. Okay. All right, let's do a little cleanup. Put that on the sandpaper and be good. Hey, Tim. I was not planning on doing this today, otherwise I would have, had this ready to go. I'm not bored you guys with this stuff, but still. Such is life. So this is just 50 grit sandpaper. And gonna take some JB Weld. And this is quick weld, so this will be very fast. This sets very rapidly. These are ready to use in like 10 minutes. Mix it up. get a flat surface. I happen to have a piece of granite here. I'm just going to stick something heavy down on that. Let that bake over here. Easiest thing I found to use is a battery. Okay. More cleanup. Apparently now I got to order some more roll-lock wheels. I don't know where the rest of them went. Great. So while we're waiting for that, what we'll do is we'll go and work on a 394 that just showed up. What's in the coffee? I don't know, probably grinds. This is a cafe blend. I use xylitol instead of sugar, and half and half. Oh, something else I saw. Check this out. When was the last time you saw oil cans for sale? Tractor Supply has them. Wasn't cheap. It was like $15. But hey, you know. Hey, William. Yeah, when's the last time you saw an oil can for sale? And they have others, which is cool. So while we're doing oil cans, I happen to have some really old 2-cycle oil here. Everybody always bitching at me about using the WD-40. Assembly lube. How about some 2-cycle oil? An oil can. Does it work? Oh yeah, she works. Cool. I was under the impression you couldn't buy those things anymore, but sure enough. A little bit of cleanup here. This I think I'll bring. Yeah, I'll leave it. Whatever. Put it all the way. Leave that for a moment. These install sleeves for the seal installers are pretty nice. Or you can use a piece of Coke can, works too. All nice and cleaned up. The O-ring from the 288. Stuffing your face. It's okay. You're loud. Probably need those. Put to the side for the moment. Okay. We got mail goodies. This. I've ordered from these guys before. This is Monster Bolts on eBay. And, you know, the thing with Huskies is that a lot of the Husky bolts are proprietary, but a lot of them aren't. Here for shipping tools. So if things are not proprietary, then you might as well have lots of them because they are cheap. And because I hate running out of things. $90mm M6. Guess what these are for? 288. So those are going to go into my 288 pile. And then I got a whole pile of them. 90mm 288 exhaust bolts. And this, these are 70mm M5s. These are carburetor bolts for 394. So that's going to go out. Check. All right, 394. So this came for me. So thank you to Dustin for this. I've got some 394 parts that I need to kind of move along. And the easiest way to do it would be to build up a 394 that is solid but is not a looker. Spartano, how's it going? Welcome. So I need a 394 that runs, it kind of looks terrible. See what I'm saying? So, be a little bit of work to put it together, but for somebody that just needs a 394 to go, this might be it, and it's going to be pretty cheap comparatively. I got lots of those. Don't worry about it. Okay. By the way, a big thanks and shout out to Mason, who is Average Timber Cutter. If you guys want to watch his videos, he does basically a lot of my saw testing, if not most, if not all of my saw testing. And so, because I just don't have anything to cut, I let him do it. But anyway. So Mason has been doing a bang-up job, and if anybody wants to go see his videos, all you have to do is look up Average Timber Cutter, one word. So I'll put it right here. And by the way, also shout out to William Profit here. If you guys want to see some nice woodworking, the milling, William Profit, he's your guy on that. Yeah, the only thing that is weak about this case is right here. What I think I'm going to do is I'm going to clean the case really well and fill that in with JB Weld. So if I can get bearings in this today, that'd be pretty nice, huh? I have the bearings, no big deal. I need a crank, which I think I have out in the shed, and I need the rubber bumpers that go there and there. A gasket. We can put this together. I'm looking at this going, you know, really need to clean that really well. And just basically fill in the whole back here with JB Weld. It's got a helicoil in it, but I think that it'd be a whole lot stronger to put in an insert. Let's give this a clean up. We'll wash these and then shine them. All that fun stuff. I think building 394, I think this is one of the easiest saws to build. They're pricey. They can get pretty pricey if you get all new stuff, but the bang for buck is excellent, and they're really just it's a nice build. It's a nice, straightforward build. Just a razor blade. Take out the remaining gasket pieces here. Probably going to deck this crankcase anyway, so I don't need to do a lot of work there. Here. Just got home from cutting. Mom's lawn on the right. Yeah, fine. James was here. James was here. Let's take this seal and bearing out. Sometimes if you punch the seal in a little bit, it allows you to lift up a little easier. And it gets the seal mobile. Junk. I don't always do this hot, but I've got the torch right here, so why not? torch because you just let it go and it turns off. About 300. Should do fine. That is very hot. Now we'll let that cool for just a minute. Put that down here. While that's cooling, I can get this nice and cleaned up with the Dremel. Just a wire wheel on the Dremel. Yeah, anybody that wants to support the channel, the best way to support it is to click on the link and buy tools from HL Supply, or buy stuff from HL Supply, whatever you need, aftermarket or OEM parts. The other way is to email me if you need crank tools to help assemble your chainsaws. So, because I've got them. I need basically need everything here. The oil dip tube. Bye, Harry. Thanks for coming in. So this needs everything. Just every little thing. Okay. No tiller vids. No, not yet. I'm going to let the garden sit now for another week or so, and then maybe I'll go back and attack it. But for right now, no. We'll give this a quick wash, and then I will see if we can get a bearing installed here. Cherries, they look great. I don't know how much frost got to them yet. That really is kind of the big question there. I hope not much, but don't have an answer to that yet. And also, since yesterday was gorgeous, so if there was any pollination, it was done yesterday. Oh, I forgot. There's a bolt broke off here. We got to do a little bolt removal. I forgot about that. Dustin mentioned that. So, yeah, bees. Oh, yeah, we had great bees yesterday. It was just beautiful. Wonderful sound. Just, I mean, for a long time yesterday. It was really cool. It was just a nice day to sit out under the trees and just do nothing else but sit under the trees, you know. I was telling my wife that it was really like, if Connecticut does one thing well, it was yesterday. It was just that nice. Get my auto punch going here. Let's see if that's enough tip. Enough pilot there for a drill bit. Yeah, it broke flat. Yeah, pretty flat. No, the bees are not super happy today, but, you know, it's cold and icky out. Whatever. But if we got pollination yesterday, it's cutting. Look at that. Okay. I want it as centered as possible. That's pretty close. Okay. Nope, this is a right hand drill. That's pretty centered. I know you can get You can get left-hand drills, but this is not one of them. Let's go up. In size, if I can get away with it. Then we'll get a screw extractor in there and see what happens. Well, that drill bit's not cutting. Jump. My favorite is that the guy with major repair. Can I wait? Are you gonna sleep in the car? Yeah. Now it's all different types of screw extractors. I'm going to see if the speed outs will grab it. This other one will go in there and grab it. No. Ooh, yes. Okay. Let's see if we can hit it with the impact. Victory! Cool. It's pretty darn straight too. I mean, it's pretty good. Okay. Get this clean. Put a bearing in here. Yeah, no red Loctite. Well, if there was red Loctite on there, or if it was having trouble, I'd probably just hit it with some heat and it would come. Certainly, one nice thing about having the metals being so dissimilar is it'll come easier. Right, it's going to take longer to engineer and figure out than build. Start whenever you want. Yeah. So I couldn't help William. Speaking to that, I couldn't help myself. In lieu of the tiller that I just got, I had to go watch Terrell's video on his garden scratcher, and I just still get a kick out of that. I can't handle the teeth. It's just so hard for me to handle the teeth. But but it's just so incredibly funny to watch. the garden scratcher. Okay, before I do the bearing, need to find some studs. Oh, that's not working. I think. Will that work? Nope. Small mount stud, not large mount. That'll work. Need to tell her them. Yeah, I know. There we go. I think this that'll work. I think this that'll work. Ratty old studs. Put that back here. Need a different box for that. Go ahead and take it out. I mentioned how I don't like hammers. I know. My auto hammer. Brr, done. Ain't going. All right. I'll do it the old-fashioned way. Where's my 3/8 washer? Get a stack of washers, hit it with the impact. Simple. long as it doesn't twist, goes right on in. There you go. I need some buck teeth, huh? And you can hear the difference when it's fully down. So now your studs are in. This is really pretty good now. So now I can put the bearing in. Bearing will take out the shields. These are Nachi 6203s, brand new Japanese bearings. Just pop the shields out. And these come pre-greased. I don't remove the grease. You can if you want, but I don't. How far am I going? I don't know. Right now I'll have to go out into the shed and get parts. So maybe what I do is after this I'll do some stuff off camera and come back later and work on it. Just a little bit of anti-seize. Helps the bearing slide in a little easier. Once you get it sort of straight, get my adapter on it here and pull it in. Same process as I used yesterday on the 288. It's essentially the same bearings, and it's the same crank too, by the way, for 394. Cool. So just some 1/2 inch. That's all that is. 1/2 inch threaded rod, nuts and washers. You need a pretty good assortment of nuts and washers to do this, but hold one side, tighten it down. Usually it goes a little bit off kilter, so back it off, tap it straighter. Okay, it's a little. Yep, and you can hear it. you can hear a different sound. Right, pop, obviously, Jane, yeah. No. I don't have a starter for it. Don't worry, that's on its way. I'm going to get this down to the folks and do a little bit of a compression bump on it. Not quite there, almost. Not quite as straight as I want. Again, you can do this in an arbor press if you want. Oh, not quite straight. There. Hey, Steven. No, not that big. Not that big. I'm not really. I'm in my basement. It's not even my shop. My shop's outside, and still not exactly set up for doing what I do here. But I can show you the basement. It's really not that exciting. Ken's been here, so he can tell you. There you go. There's the sound. Nice and smooth. On these, it just goes right in. That's it. And it goes flush. Or at least down as far as it'll go into the pocket. I use these nice big fender washers to make sure it is flush. There you have it. Matt's layer, yeah. Oh yeah. Not a whole lot of secrets in Matt's lair here. You guys have all seen it. You know what I mean? Alright. Let's fiddle around with... Because I'm kind of curious about this... the other side here. Now, the other side's a ways away from having a bearing put in, because I got to clean it. So overall dimensions, what, Ken? 10 feet by 16 feet, something like that? Not that big. But the thing about my lair here is that I stand right here, but it's in the middle. Bench is there, and my actual bench I work on is here, which all this is a board on a stand. Essentially, it's in a vise stand. So I have this whole triangle thing going on, and it works. And I catch never ending heck about this as using this as a bench, but it does tend to work. So, you know, whatever. Alright, I think I need to like super duper clean this, and then we'll eventually later do some JB Weld, but I think I got to do this with the steam. So I'm going to work on this off camera. We do have hopefully the JB Weld ready over there, so I can do the head. I can clean the head off a little bit, which we'll do. Put this over cleaning area. Yeah, it's just a board that is in a vise. That's all. That's now set. And these are 660 just aftermarket pistons that I'm using. I got some 50 grit on them. And all I'm doing is cleaning up squish band on a 288 head. Now, again, the proper way to do this, the real way to do this, and anybody will tell you, is with a boring bar on a lathe. And if anybody wants to have it done like that, and you're welcome to do that. And your guy is going to be Rattler down in the Carolinas. You can look him up on OPE Forum. I like what he does. He does really nice work. So 50 grit sandpaper. Yeah, you can get all kinds of work done. Right now, I've got so much stuff on me that I have to literally unbury myself. So that's where I'm at. So that's what the squish band looks like right now. But wait till you see it in a second. You do not want any grit on the walls. There. You get grit on the walls, and now you got a line. Which really is not the end of the world, but not preferable. Extra lube. Not trying to take off 30 thousandths. I'm only trying to take off 5, maybe 10. Maybe. See, you got plating on there in aluminum. So it's cutting. This is for Bob's Ratty 288. This is not a Concord level build by any means. If I was doing a super duper 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 build, I would probably send this down to Rattler and have him do it. It's not that I can't, it's just that he does such a nice job. Almost done here. and it's a lot of work for buying like 5,000s, but that'll do. So let's put this back on the crankcase and see where it actually ends up. Okay, so we had a squish earlier of about 32, 33,000, somewhere in there. With the gasket. Hey, Bob. You getting anything good at the depot? When I'm checking squish, I only need to doesn't need to be ultra tight, just needs to be there, you know. Paintbrushes, new lights. Very nice. What happened? There it is. My mind over here. So I'm gonna guess we went to about 40,000 squish. Let's hope. Bob, I'm just evening off the squish band a little bit here on your Ratty 288. Oh. Yeah, we had about 5,000s from 8 to 12. So 25 and 10. 25 and 5 is 30. And then we had 8. So 30. It was 32, 33,000s. Right now we're at 37,000s squish. So we got about 5,000s more. So 37. So that means that on here going to remove 17 thousandths on the Bridgeport. Minus 0.017. It's marked. Actually, Bob, I'll debate that. Is it me that has you over the barrel or the wife? What do you think? I don't know why the Woodruff key is kind of tight. But whatever. Put that right there, we don't lose it. Gonna pull the head off. So we got about 5,000 by doing that. So I'll pull the head off right now. It goes back in the box. And we'll pull the piston off and the gasket. Don't want to lose that. Lose that either. Fair try to get to the other repaired, yeah. Okay, so yeah, so when we have 37,000 squish, if I want to opt with a gasket and I want to optimize it at 20, then I got to take off 17. So makes sense. That's gonna make everything happy here on this particular build. While we're sitting here, that's gonna be okay, but where to put the okay. So I've got some stuff to go get from the shed to work on the 394 a little bit more. I got to do some work off camera and whatnot. It's time for me to take a break anyway. Questions, comments? Hey, Keith. So still thinking about that 353 E-Tech to 346. Do I know? Well, you can't order the old one. They don't. I don't think they make the old one anymore. So you have to get the new edition 346 XP. The 44.3. There's really, unless you're racing and trying to get into a particular class of saw, then there's really no point in having a 42 millimeter top end. It's not that they don't run well. It's just that the 44.3s run better. So why not get a 44.3? For those people interested in supporting the channel, the best way to support the channel is to either, well, both. Click on the link that Ken just posted, and HL Supply essentially tracks you. And if you buy anything from them, then I get credit for it, and I really appreciate that. Yeah, Bob. If there's updates, I'll let you know. Right now, I'm waiting on the other gasket kit for the nicer version, and then we're gonna do the same process essentially. Get the case together, get a squish number. But until I get that gasket kit, can't do much of anything. This afternoon I'm gonna work on the Ratty 394, but I got some stuff to do off camera, like I said. So really, this project right here is now frozen until I get this decked. Yeah, it is time for lunch, isn't it? So, um, I'll go do some work off camera, and we'll come back later this evening, probably if I can, and have some more fun. Questions, comments, anything else? Illy, take care. Yeah, no problem. So sometimes when I do emails, it's a little bit short, and please forgive me for that. Sometimes it's better to answer questions live. That way, everybody gets the benefit of them. Um, you're gonna wait till you get the gasket. Yeah, I would probably make one trip down to the folks and do all that stuff. So yeah, everybody have a good Sunday. If I can be on later, I will be. And Bob, if there's anything specific that I'll let you know, obviously. So they're coming together. This is gonna be it's gonna be a mean looking saw. Have a good one. Be safe, everybody, and we'll see you just as soon as I have something to show you. Take care, guys. Bye.